October 13th, 1872. The wind is screaming across Lake Michigan, rain lashes sideways, and somewhere out in the black water, a luxury steamship is losing the fight. Passengers cling to railings, lanterns swing wildly, the deck tilts, and within hours, the Lac La Belle will vanish. Not for a day, not for a year, in 50 years. But this isn't just the story of a shipwreck. It's the story of a storm, of 8 lives lost, of a wooden steamship swallowed by cold fresh water, and of one man who refused to let it stay lost. Tonight, we're not just talking about history. We're stepping into it. The Lac La Belle had been sailing since 1864. She was considered elegant for her time, a wooden passenger steamer carrying people and cargo between Milwaukee and ports along Lake Michigan. On board that October evening, barley, flour, pork, even barrels of whiskey, and passengers in heavy wool coats and corsets, expecting an ordinary journey. But Lake Michigan doesn't do ordinary. The storm hit hard, waves slammed into the hull, water forced its way inside. Somewhere below deck, the ship began to leak. The crew rushed to the boilers, the heart of the ship. But as water flooded in, the fires were extinguished. No steam, no power, no escape. Imagine the silence when the engines died. Just wind and waves and wood groaning under pressure. Lifeboats were lowered into chaos. 8 people never made it home. And then, the Lac La Belle slipped beneath the surface. The lake closed over her, and she was gone. For decades, the wreck's location was a mystery. Newspapers wrote about the tragedy. Families mourned. Sailors speculated. But the lake kept its secret. And here's the strange thing about shipwrecks. They don't just disappear. They wait. Under cold fresh water, wood can survive. Metal corrodes slowly. Time stretches differently in the dark. While cities grew. While cars replaced horses. While the world changed completely. The Lac La Belle rested quietly on the lake floor. Covered slowly by quagga mussels, the tiny invaders that cling to everything in the Great Lakes like nature's stubborn decorators. Still, silent, forgotten. Fast forward nearly a century. A teenage diver named Paul Ehorn becomes fascinated with shipwrecks. Most hobbies last a few years. This one lasts a lifetime. He begins searching for the Lac La Belle in the 1960s. Think about that. The moon landing hadn't even happened yet. Decades pass. Search grids, archive research, old newspaper clippings, hand-drawn maps. If you've ever looked for your phone for 5 minutes and felt frustrated, imagine doing it for 60 years. Then, in October 2022, about 20 miles offshore between Racine and Kenosha, a sonar ping returns something different. Not just noise, not just rock. A shape, long, structured, symmetrical, a hull. Divers descend into cold green water. Flashlights cut through darkness. And there she is, the hull still upright. Oak interiors preserved, the propeller shaft still in place. Because the boilers had been extinguished before she sank, there was no explosion, which meant much of the internal structure survived. Over 150 years later, intact. It's almost unsettling, like walking into a room where time stopped in 1872. This isn't just about finding wood and metal. It's about closure, about connecting names in old newspapers to a real place on a map. It's about understanding how people traveled, what they carried, how they lived. Cargo tells stories. Personal items tell stories. And sometimes, silence on the lake floor tells the loudest story of all. It's also proof of something simple but powerful. Persistence wins. Technology helps. But stubborn curiosity, that's the engine. I keep thinking about someone on that deck in 1872 saying, "Don't worry, the whiskey's secured." Right before the storm swallowed everything, history isn't black and white, it's human, messy, ordinary people in extraordinary moments. Today, Lake Michigan looks calm, almost innocent. But beneath that surface lies a wooden steamship that fought a storm and lost. The Lac La Belle waited in darkness for more than a century. And because one man never stopped searching, because sonar technology kept improving, because curiosity doesn't age. A ghost ship has a location again. The lake still holds many secrets. But this one has been found. And that's why we keep looking.